Hi, everyone. Our meetings every Tuesday and Thursday from 11:30 to 12:45, as you know, will be on Zoom. And you can access the class meetings by following the link that's on the syllabus, or it will also be on Canvas. Now, if you haven't used Zoom much before, it does definitely take a little bit of getting used to, but honestly, it is so much better than many of the alternatives. It's really quite flexible and useful. And we're very fortunate that we have access to licenses so that we are able to use Zoom for long meetings with lots and lots of participants, like in this class. It should be usable on nearly any computer that you might have and many other devices, as long as it has video and audio recording. In a pinch, I have Zoom on my phone and I can use the Zoom app. That's not ideal. I'd like to have it on a computer, but if I don't, I don't. Um, I did want to spend a couple of minutes talking about what our classes are going to look like because for many of us, this is the first time that we've spent a substantial amount of time in an online class or in a Zoom class. And so here are just a few tips and a few guidelines for how this is going to be. I will be online and I will start admitting students a few minutes before 11:30 on Tuesdays and Thursdays. We will start at 11:30 sharp and go right till 12:45 most days. Some days it may end a little bit early. Um, Zoom has a waiting room feature, so if you find yourself admitted, you will be in a waiting room until I admit you, and that's totally normal. Just hang and I will get you on as soon as I can. Um, During the class, while a chunk of our time will be spent together as a whole class, I am not really planning on doing a ton of straightforward lecturing where I talk for 20 or 25 or 30 minutes uninterrupted. Lots and lots of times we'll be splitting into breakout groups. Zoom lets me split the class into groups of four or whatever size I want to work on little exercises or discuss questions or whatever. And then we can kind of come back after that and have a discussion as a whole group. And I think we're going to be doing that fairly often. Every once in a while, I'm going to do, we're maybe going to show videos or something like that. But for the most part, if I want to show a video, I'll post a link to a YouTube video in Canvas and I'll get you to watch that on your own time. That way we can use our very limited, time together to really have an active discussion rather than me having you spend a period of time when you could be doing something else sitting and watching a video. Um, I guess a few just norms, things that we might want to think about. Clothes, please wear them. But seriously, anything within reason that makes you feel comfortable, that's what I want you to wear to class. And that's whatever I don't really care. If you want to show up in your pajamas, go nuts. That's great. I guess usually I probably will probably dress up a little bit, but I don't know. We'll see how that goes. That might change as the semester goes on. Um, Food and drink, yes, of course. Feel free to, bring lunch, snack, whatever down. I realize 11:30 to 12:45. Some of you may be hungry. Myself, I drink a lot of coffee. Probably be drinking my coffee during class. I think that's just an ordinary thing that you should feel free to do. Um, in terms of cameras, for the video camera, keep it on if you like. It really does help me to be able to see the people I'm engaging with, to sort of see whether things are making sense, but also turn it off at any time if and when you need to. I recognize that many or most of you are going to be in class from your homes and you deserve privacy. And if you're most comfortable turning your camera off, or if you need to just turn it off for a few minutes for whatever reason, I understand. I don't think it's right to insist that students have their cameras on at all times. I don't believe that. Um, your pets. Yes, please. Please bring your pets to class. My dog Argo, who's just over there, he's sleeping right now. He's older. He's a chow chow. He's 10 or 11 years old. So He sleeps, but every once in a while he may come by. We'll get him to jump up on my lap or something. And I think it's all cool as long as it's not distracting, of course. And honestly, even if it is distracting. Some people have asked about recordings. Of course, I'm recording these videos, but in general, I will not record or post our class Zoom meetings. That means you do have to be here to get the content. Actually, the main reason for that is for your privacy, and it's out of respect for all of you and your homes and families that a Zoom meeting that has your stuff, your discussions, doesn't belong posted up on the Canvas site or where somebody can download it and redistribute it. I just don't think that's right. And so I'm not recording the Zoom meetings that we'll be having. Chat. Zoom has a text chat function. I strongly encourage you to have that open at all times, to use chat, to make comments, to ask questions, to post links to funny memes, especially if they're appropriate. Please make them appropriate. I will keep that open and I will get to as many questions as I can. In fact, that's probably easier than having people raise their hands or shout out. If you ask questions in chat, it's much easier for me to kind of filter those out or see them and interject and insert those into our discussion. It also lets you have private chat, and feel free to have private chat if you like, as long as it's not distracting you or others. If that turns out to be a problem, then we'll have to revisit that. As I think most of you may already know, Zoom has a virtual background setting where you can set the background to some image that you find entertaining. And honestly, this really can be useful if you're in a space that's not totally your own and where you don't want your business to be everyone else's business, but you want to have your camera on. Then a background is a great way to deal with that. Try to stick to one background per class. Don't use anything that has any moving or flashing lights. And of course, again, I really shouldn't need to say this, but please keep it appropriate. And again, these are basic considerations of courtesy to others in your class. In terms of the microphone, yes, definitely be on a device that has microphone so that you can ask questions orally if that's your interest. I think everyone gets muted upon entry into the Zoom meeting. And in general, my recommendation is that everyone should stay muted unless you're talking, and that will keep from distracting others and to keep any background noise that may be in your environment from becoming everyone else's business. But definitely feel free to use the mic to have a oral discussion when you want to. Stepping away. Feel free to step away absolutely when you need to for whatever reason. If you need to, go and take care of something around your environment, then please feel free. This is different for all of us. None of us is really familiar with this kind of classroom setting, but I want you to be comfortable. I want you to be in a good environment for your learning. And if what that means is you need to take 2 minutes away, then great. Take 2 minutes and come back, and you can turn off your video and audio, so nobody even really needs to know. It's nobody's concern but yours. The last thing is there are almost certainly things about Zoom that I haven't thought of. We are all in this kind of new, and we're all in this kind of trial and error phase. I do want to do it because I do really value the opportunity to see students and meet students. I think it's part of the reason that you're in college is not to just get a bunch of content dumped at you, but to really be able to interact. And so having this interactive, synchronous environment is important to me. It's something I value, but I also realize that there are aspects of it that I'm not aware of, and we may have to make adjustments as the course progresses. So I just want to thank you in advance for your patience as we kind of work with this and try it out. Okay, thanks everybody.